Welcome, everybody, to this fourth episode of the Dolce Vita Calcio podcast English version. As always, with me, Dishan, our coordinator, on my left.
Hi, hey
And
everyone.
in the middle of your screen, right below us, there's Harry Beckwith.
How are we? Okay.
Okay, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I had a very good weekend. A very, very good weekend. Sports, non-sports. It's been a really good few days. So yeah, loving life. What about you? How was your weekend?
Really, pretty
We
good
enjoyed it,
weekend.
we
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
we enjoyed it. Maybe less in a football side.
More in an alcoholic way.
Yeah, but we can always do better. Alcoholic way and football side
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's room for improvement. As always, guys, we're gonna start with the first section of our episode, Why So Serie A, and we're gonna talk about this great weekend that we've seen for the Italian league in the past few days. And Harry, I want to ask you, what's the performance, the breakout performance this week, this match day of Serie A?
I mean, I'm glad you're asking me because obviously for me, I'm going to say Lazio. A massively important victory for them. Away from home at Atalanta. Not an easy place to go. You know, an important time of the season, an important battle against the teams lower than them. Yeah, just fantastic. It was a bit of a grind to get the goal. Well, not just the goal, but the win. You know, I think Atalanta were on top for majority of the game. You know, even the stats show it. More of an expected goals, not by much, but more possession, more shots. But thankfully, Gustav Isaksson, who is, you know, going to win a Ballon d'Or after this game, he just did it for us. And thankfully, we got the win, which I think is such an
Thanks
important
that
win.
you said for us, because
Yeah.
I think we need to remind everybody that Harry is a bit of a Lazio fan.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
Not
I
too
mean,
much.
Because
look,
if you say that the breakout performance from this weekend of Serie A is the Lazio game,
you think who else would you give it to? I think with the amount
Bro,
of draws that were in there,
yeah,
this was
we
the,
got 7 draws on 10 games at the same
and this
time.
is the one win that, you know, in the top, you know, what, 6 that have
It's been an
actually had a
important
really
win
good
for
win.
Lazio,
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly.
it's the only team
But
that
it's not
won.
only that; it's an important win in terms of the title race and the battle for top 4.
No,
you
the
know,
title
it's
race,
the
bro.
title race.
Atalanta.
Look,
Yeah,
already out.
agreed.
Wasn't
They're
even-
not going to be one of the, you know, they're not Inter and Napoli. I get that, but they were knocking on the door somewhat. But this kind of kills that off a little bit more. Whereas
Yeah,
the
bro,
battle for
but
top 4, this is
the
huge.
Inter game, the Fiorentina game already killed off any hopes for Atalanta to try and win the Scudetto for their first time. But
You say that as if Inter and Napoli are running away with it. They both drew. On the
no.
weekend,
I'm
you
not
know.
saying that. I'm saying that Atalanta, as of now, has not shown the quality of play or the mental strength to continue and battle for the Scudetto.
No, I
And
agree
the
with you
Lazio
on that.
game is only another way to see it, because I didn't see a breakout performance from Lazio, but I saw a horrible game from Atalanta. And that's the main part, I think, of the discussion about that game.
Okay,
Atalanta
fine.
right now
Maybe-
is struggling on every step, every
maybe the
pass, every
performance
shot.
itself.
What?
But even then, I was going to say maybe the performance itself wasn't breakout, but to go to Atalanta and grind out a win, that is the type of performance you need to give in that sort of situation. You can't expect to go, you know, away against a team like Atalanta and play the best football. This is the type of performance you need, and it's what worked, and it's what got Lazio the 3 points. Like you say, it is coming from a very biased perspective. You know, I am a
Lazio
fan,
didn't
I am-
play horribly, but it didn't even
but
play.
they played the way they needed to, and you know it worked.
Yeah, but
I'm
bro,
disappointed
it
by
worked
Atalanta.
on maybe the only real big chance that Lazio created in the game. Because I saw the game, neither Lazio or Atalanta, neither one of the team really played offensive football or creating a lot of chances. I remember only a Manda's save on a Retegui shot. After that,
Was
nothing.
that the one from like point blank range?
Yeah. And
Actually, I need your opinion. Like, as two non-Lazio fans, there's been a bit of a debate amongst Lazio fans about the number 1 shirt. You know, does Providence
Yeah.
start? Does Mandas start? Now, I've always I've always been in the Providel camp. I've always been quite defensive of him because I'm a big fan of his. But when you play Mandas and he, again, like you say, it wasn't Atalanta's best game in the league. Let's not twist that at all. But Mandas did provide some really good saves, including that Retegi one.
But I think you cannot
Who would you give the shirt to?
No.
I'm going to let you go first and then
100%.
Prodello. You think?
Provedel.
I
I really like Provedel.
On the other hand, I think Mandas has proven himself.
Yeah, it's a good
a lot
second
of the
keeper.
times right now,
It's a similar situation with Juventus, even Di Gregorio and Perin.
and even there, I'm not convinced that Perin is
The number
far
one.
worse than Di Gregorio.
I think they're really similar, and Perin did.
But the difference is, I think, in the two situations is that Di Gregorio hasn't struggled as much as Provedel this season.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Provedel this season made a lot of mistakes. Not as good as the last two seasons for Lazio.
Even when Szczesny was still the Juventus goalkeeper, he did a lot of errors.
Yeah, but also with a lot of great performances that saved Juve a lot of the times. I think Provedel maybe right now is struggling. I don't know if physically some kind of a problem or mentally maybe is a little bit tired. At this part of the season, maybe is feeling the fatigue of a really long season for Lazio, because we need to remind everybody Lazio. I don't think we need to remind everybody, but Lazio is gonna play 2 days from now the quarterfinals against Bodo Glimt in Norway.
It's in the same situation as Inter.
Yeah, in the same situation as Inter.
Exactly.
But I feel
Inter
like
is fighting for championship, but
it's easy to see that.
Yeah, but I
Lazio
think
is
Lazio
not
was still
strong
fighting
enough
for a Europa
mentally.
League.
yeah, it's
You
the
know,
same.
I know,
Yeah, it's the
and a
same.
top four. Like
The top
I think
four.
the intensity is there, even if it's different rewards that they're chasing.
And even the calendar.
Baroni could be cooking the best Lazio season in 25 years. Because
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine now in a season where we started so well and then it's dropped off a little bit, that we finish in the top four in a Champions League space and win the Europa League?
Yeah, but
Crazy.
the calendar of Lazio as well is a difficult one in the next
Very
2
difficult.
weeks.
Yeah.
You have the 2 matches with Bodo. In the middle, you have the derby, and then you're playing with Juventus. I think. I don't think the next week, but the week after.
I'm gonna say every game that awaits Lazio.
It's not an easy calendar.
In this last month and a little bit. We have the Bodo away, then the derby.
The
Obviously.
derby on the weekend is huge, and I'm shitting myself
And
for it.
we're gonna point to that in a little bit. Then the second leg of the quarterfinals, Genoa Lazio, Lazio Parma, Empoli Lazio, then Lazio Juve, Inter Lazio, and the last game of the season is Lazio Lecce. Obviously, this is a calendar without the possible semi-final in the Europa League, so you need to point
And
out
it
also
looks
that.
like if they do get through, it would probably then be Spurs that they play, which is a game that I'm going to do.
Bro,
my
I don't think
best to go
Spurs
to.
will go on against Eintracht. I think Eintracht goes through. But we are going to talk
I
about
really
that
hope
in a
it's
little bit,
Spurs,
bro.
I really want to
Don't-
go to that.
We are going to talk about it, but obviously I'm going to say that Spurs will lose against Eintracht, but we'll come back to that later. I was going to ask you, as a Lazio fan, do you think more of the game against Bodo, the 2 games against Bodo, or you think a lot more of the derby?
Derby. No, I don't even need to think about derby. That derby means
There was
more to
a
Lazio
discussion
fans.
yesterday about
The thing
it.
is, I think the problem is if we win the game against Bodo Glimt and don't go through, as in don't go through the semis after beating them, it's still a disappointing season in terms of if we finish below Roma. If we finish above Roma but still don't win anything, we still have a better season than them. And the bragging rights in the city would go to us for that year.
But we were talking
Like-
with the week before with Luca.
Yeah.
He's a Lazio fan, and we were thinking the fact that I agree with him for the fact that if Lazio has a big opportunity to win the Europa League,
Yeah.
and
Enormous opportunity.
you're going to Champions League, and you don't have to think about the championship anymore.
I
The
mean,
problem
true.
is that we see a really struggling Lazio.
Yeah.
It's really tired. I think the
We're on
players
really
are
bad form.
tired physically and mentally.
Yeah, I think
we
the
talked about
problem is
Provedel before, but I think it's something all around in the squad.
I know this might be a bit of a, I might be underappreciating or underrating Bodo Glimt here, but I think the focus right now should be on the derby. You go into a game against Bodo Glimt on Thursday with, a good result on Sunday, sorry. You're playing Bodo Glimt away. You then have a home derby and a home game then against Bodo Glimt. I, as a Lazio fan, expect to beat Bodo Glimt, even though we're playing the derby. To me, Thursday now should be. I expect to win, but if we don't, I expect to be able to finish them off in the second leg at the Olimpico. We've not been good in the Olimpico recently.
Yeah, but
that being said,
we're discussing the fact that with Victoria Poulsen,
we were at the
game, and it was a very bad game.
A trash game.
It was a trash game
from Lazio. So I don't think the win away would be enough to be satisfied and almost control the game in the second leg, because we saw it against Victoria Pilsen. That is a worse team than Bodo Glimt, not a much worse team than Bodo Glimt, but at the same time, in 2 days from now, you are in Norway, the nordest away possible game for any team in Europe.
The shittiest pitch in Europe.
The shittiest pitch in Europe, obviously, with a synthetic pitch. So maybe, I get that the derby is always something else, but from this game...
I think the derby is such a huge thing as well, because if we lose it, they'll have done the double on us. And also...
but that's an
the
historic
thing is,
part.
even if we
but you have 6 more games to get back at them, and...
Bro, Lazio winning the Europa League is a very big...
True, but the thing is, you're asking about Bodo Glimt against, and that...
Yeah, bro, but if you win the
problem
Europa League this year, no one is going to talk about the derbies. Bro, if you win the games... If you win the Europa League
Frankfurt or Spurs, and then United or whoever else is there.
I think if Lazio is fit, if Lazio is fit, I don't see why Lazio couldn't beat any of the other teams.
No, I'm agreeing with you. But what I'm saying is, because it's not a guarantee that the Bodo Glimt game and the Roma game it's not the same. If it was like a semi-final, if this was the semi-final, then I'd completely say, yeah, that should be the focus because you get to the final. But this is the quarters, to then play the semis against a much, much better team than Bodo Glimt that doesn't guarantee us going through, to then play in the final that doesn't guarantee us winning. If we beat Roma, that is a success in itself, based off of how bad we've been recently.
Bro, you said it is a success in itself because it's only one game in the last 7 games of the Serie A. You could win the game, but still arrive under them.
No,
you can win the game and then...
no, I get that. I'm aware of that. But what I'm saying is, in the grand scheme of things right now, it's such an important stage. Look, who knows what's going to happen in the future? In the same way that we might beat Bodo Glimt and lose in the semis. In the same way we might, we might win the Europa League. We don't know. But as of right now, what we do know is that if we beat Roma, we go... it's a 6-point game. And it's a derby. It's such an important derby and such an important part of the season that it is crucial in this part of the season if you focus on the league. I don't think there's a right answer in this, because either way, you're going to have some Lazio fans who are focused on the Europa League and want to win it. I'm one of them as well. But you've also got Lazio fans who, just can't bear the thought of losing to Rome. Like, Roma are what they are, and they're having a good season now since the derby in January. If we can be the team to, stop their momentum and win what is a 6-point game in what is a really important battle for fourth right now. I mean, the amount of teams that are in and near it for fourth place, to win a 6-pointer would put them out of it a lot more and give us much more of a good chance to finish there.
I think we cannot agree in this type of situation about the importance of the 3 different games, but because we see it more as a something from outside, with a critical thinking.
It's not even that as well. Like, there are going to be so many Lazio fans who disagree with me and so many that agree with me. It's such a, it's 2 massive fixtures, or 3 if you count it as 2 legs. Regardless, as a Lazio fan, I want us to go into all 3 games focusing completely on what the task is. But it's just a bit annoying that we have to play the derby in between these 2 really important games as well. But, I mean, who knows? I still really, really want to win. I mean, I want to win everything, obviously, that's football. But, yeah, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's a bit of a shit situation to be in.
I get it, but it's a tricky question because we are going to think about something and you're going to think something else. But I get why. It's not something like...
Let me ask you this in terms of, if this was Napoli now and you were playing Inter, where we're playing the derby, and you've got a European quarterfinal either side, what would you focus on?
If I have a European quarterfinals, I guess Boroglim, and in a possible semi-final.
Imagine now you're in the situation you're in the league where you're fighting for the Scudetto, and you've also got I know the Scudetto is different for 4th place, but it's, relative to the teams now.
Yeah, so obviously, but at the same time, bro, you have 6 other games after Sunday. You don't have 6 other games after the quarterfinals. That's the main thing for me. But obviously, as a Lazio fan, you have your opinion that is completely normal to have.
So, what would you pick? Would you pick the quarterfinal, or would you?
I would pick the quarterfinals because the European glory is something that is completely different from anything.
Yeah, true. I mean, no, I agree with you on that. I'd much rather win the Europa League than come fourth.
It's a trophy that Lazio needs and could win, not easily,
but there are good chances.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. What I'm saying is, I think more than anything, I think I've explained this badly, is I would rather win the Europa League than finish in the top 4.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think
still Champions League football next season.
Pardon?
Still Champions League football next season.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is I think the Roma game, if we can win that, it's such a 6-pointer, and it fucks them up in the way that it also benefits us, is it's more likely to have a better impact on our season than the Bodo Glimt game, because we've still got a semi-final against a massive team. I know we've still got 6 games to play in the league afterwards as well, so it is a bit. And
you have also
12 of one, half a dozen of another.
You have also right now 2 teams above you in the table.
Yeah, exactly. And Juve did us a favor the other day, and
Bologna drew yesterday against Napoli.
Exactly. So it's been a really good weekend for Lazio, but
the only team that gained points on someone
that really did something.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the 2 draws that seen Napoli struggle in Bologna 1-0, and Inter on Saturday 2-0 in Parma. 2 stadiums that we visited with our vlogs. Look at the chances. Who would have thought? But I want your opinion on the 2 moments of the teams.
I mean, honestly, I think it's pretty similar for both. It's an opportunity gone. I think Napoli will probably be more disappointed because of the knowing what Inter's score was and then going into it and still.
Yeah, but at the same time, Napoli,
it's a much harder game.
Exactly, this was the worst game of the 2, and this was the.
And also, we've done that stadium, and it is such a horrible, horrible stadium to go to as an away team on a Monday night as well.
Yesterday was packed, was completely full.
And we know how good the atmosphere is there, and what a beautiful, beautiful stadium it is. So, in terms of the result, Napoli will be disappointed. Naturally, they are fighting for the Scudetto. It doesn't really matter.
Also, because you played, I watched the game. Edition 2 came and watched the game. We saw a Napoli that played pretty good the first half. Was in control, didn't suffer too much, and Bologna is the best team in Italy right now. And I'm not saying this because I'm crazy. The games are saying this. The table from 2025 says this. In the second half, Napoli couldn't get away from Bologna's pressing. Couldn't get away from his off of the pitch, and I think that is a little bit worrying because Napoli in the last few games. What's worrying for you
as well is the fact that even when you obviously the stats are, when you haven't seen the game, the stats kind of tell you some things, but probably not the whole story. But Bologna ended up with, a very dominant, like stats with like ball possession, shots.
Yeah, but it's all the second half, because I remember watching the stats after during the halftime, and Napoli was above Bologna for ball possession and also big chances created.
Oh yeah, if you
in
look
the
at
second half, Napoli
momentum,
couldn't get out of his half. Was incredible. Bologna played the perfect second half. Napoli played the worst second half possible. And the problem for me is that in the last 3, 4, 5 games, Napoli has struggled with this problem in each of these games. Like if you think about also last week, Napoli won against Milan. Napoli played really good 60 minutes. After that, nothing. Same thing in the win against Fiorentina a month ago. Same thing against Venezia. The first half, we created 7, 8 big chances with a incredible performance by ex-Inter's goalkeeper Radu. In the second half, we didn't play against a team like Venezia. So I think the problem right now is not being tired, because Napoli cannot be tired playing one game a week. Yeah. The problem is that mentally the players are feeling the weight of the chances and the games that they are playing right now. Also, if Inter would have won on Saturday, I think the players could have been a little bit more. They'd have been
up for it more.
Yeah, exactly. They probably thought, okay, Inter drew, so if we drew here, that is, and the Bologna game yesterday was the worst game left for Napoli, because right now Napoli has 7 games. All the 7 games are against teams on the right side of the table. On the other hand, the Inter has the Bologna game again at the Lara, Lazio and Roma at San Siro, so more tricky calendar for Inter. But at the same time, I think it was like, I'm happy with it. That's the thought I imagine that the player had yesterday. They said, okay, it's okay to draw here, because we are gonna go again next week with 3 points behind. It's not something we cannot do. But for me, that is a problem, and I've seen it in their way of playing in the last 10-20 minutes. Napoli was content with the draw. I've seen Politano exiting the pitch, doing 30-40 meters more to lose time when you have the ball, when you could go and try to win the game. And for me, that's a problem.
It's not acceptable.
I'm not happy. I get that before this weekend, I would have signed to stay 3 points behind Inter, because they were going to play in Parma. We were going to play against Italianos Bologna. But after the performance from Inter on Saturday, no.
Let's speak about that for a second as well. Like, what do you think about the way Inter played and the way Parma played?
I think I've seen the whole game. The first half, Inter played good, not perfectly.
They dominated, but they didn't do much.
No, I don't think it dominated, because Parma had 2 or 3 chances during the first half. But the thing is, even if Inter did not dominate on Saturday, I couldn't have never imagined that something like that could happen to a team like Inter, because that's the problem. At halftime, I said, okay, the game is over. Not because I don't think Parma is the team that could they could score, but not 2 goals, not with Inter not trying again to go and win it.
It's been a lack of using the mind. It's been not the right
but the fact is, the maybe 2 draws are a little bit similar, but the fact is that Inter has a lot of more of excuses, because Inter played against Milan 3 days before with the Coppa Italia semifinals. Inter is playing today in the Champions League. Napoli does not have that type of games right now.
I think Napoli really need to, against Bologna away again, you can take a draw. You might not be happy about it, but you could take it.
Not the way you played. That's my only problem.
No,
the second
exactly.
half was abysmal.
But like you say, if you'd have gone into the weekend knowing the fixtures, you'd have taken the 3 point. You'd have taken being 3 points behind.
Yeah.
And that
Absolutely.
is, like you say, mainly down to the fact that you've only got one competition to focus on, and Inter don't. They've got 3. So right now, I do think, as much as you are 3 points behind, I do think you maybe are in the driving seat, depending on how Inter go with their fixtures in the other competitions. Bayern's not an easy game, but it will tire them out. And then they've got...
We're going to talk about the Bayern game right in the next 2 minutes. But I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you, but I want to hear your thoughts about the Ndoye goal, about yesterday, because we thought about we
mentioned
game,
it before we started recording. You know what? I think you guys know how much of a soft spot I have for Bologna, and especially Orsolini. But when we went to watch the Venezia game, it was Dan and Ndoye who really kind of impressed us.
You remember? You remember with the fantasy football game?
Don't. Honestly, I had a terrible week that week. However, he was brilliant. He was fantastic, and he's a player who's got that little bit of quality about him. And he's a player that I think only Serie A fans will kind of know of at this point in terms of how good he can be. But that goal yesterday just proved it again. He's such a delicate little flick. But
I would love him. I would love to see him in a Napoli shirt next season, because Napoli tried in January to get him as the replacement for Kvara. But
I have to say, I do think he'd be a really good player for you as well. I think he'd suit you nicely.
Yeah, and I think Napoli needs for sure to work on the attackers, forward, wingers position in this transfer windows that is coming up in June and then in July, because this season, if Napoli had a winger, another winger, and a different type of striker than Lukaku, I think Napoli could have been easily above Inter in the table.
Yeah, possibly. I think
being an Inter fan, because you are a Lazio fan, you are an Inter fan, you cannot admit defeat. But
no, I mean, I'm not denying it. I mean, I'm a Lazio fan, so shut your face. But I don't think you're wrong. I think with someone like Ndoye as well at Napoli, I think he'd just be exciting. Do you know what I mean? I think he'd be able to be that guy who just makes things happen for you.
Yeah, I think so. So,
what about you, Dilshan? What do you think about the results?
I think the same that Jacob was saying. Actually, it's been not the best week of Serie A.
Yeah, it was a full weekend, but not a beautiful weekend.
Not a beautiful weekend. Even the Juventus match with Roma, it was...
We didn't talk about it, but I think we didn't talk about it because maybe that's the worst match we've seen this weekend from the loads of games. Because this weekend, from the second spot, from the 9th spot, they all played against each other. Only Inter played against Parma, but all the games were at least exciting. Yeah. The Roma-Juve, not so much.
It was,
I've seen it, you've seen it. The first half, maybe, yeah. The second half, after the Shumudov goal,
I saw a good
nothing.
Juventus. I saw a good Juventus, a nice goal by Locatelli that didn't score like in 500 days.
Yeah, a little bit.
It was a nice goal. It remembered me the
Bonucci really goal, well taken. I think the Locatelli goal with the English commentary on BT Sport or TNT Sport now. Actually, no, the Serie A channel, sorry. The English commentator says it was a proper captain's goal. And I really like that. I really like that. It kind of sums up.
I'm not gonna weigh in on the captain of the Juve captain situation, because I think
but I think
that's one of the worst handled situation by Thiago Motta this season.
Yeah.
And
got like 6 captains in the whole season.
And I think Locatelli maybe is the best choice, but if you think about the other captains of Juve history, recent history, I don't think Locatelli.
No, but things I don't think they've got a player like that in the squad anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But
Which I don't think is a terrible thing in terms of you've got a young,
it's a
exciting
terrible
team.
thing. It's
But
for me.
they're young and exciting. But yeah, maybe you are missing out on that one sort of just player with that finesse that someone like Chiellini had. He was just class. Do you know what I mean?
The last captain, you sell him at January.
Which
was Danilo. Which was the perfect captain.
You had a struggling story with captains. Look at how they dismissed Del Piero. A lot of the other guys, also Bonucci, the player.
I do need to ask.
Captain, but what?
Sorry to interrupt. I do need to ask because I'm very interested in Dilshan's opinion on Igor Tudor. You've gone to Roma. You've got a point away from home against what would have been a 6-pointer had someone won. I'd argue. What is your sort of opinion on Tudor now that he's come in? You've not had the most time to see what he's been like, but are you happy with him so far? Or
the fact that I like about the Tudor coming to Juventus is the fresh air that he brought to the team. Even because there were a lot of players that wasn't happy with Thiago Motta, like Vlahovic. But something similar is happening now, even with Tudor, like Conceição, which is we posted a story on Instagram, which is where
with accusatory tone.
Because from when when Tudor came, he played like 40 or 20 minutes, something like that.
But 40, 50 minutes in a 2-game span is not so bad.
But with Thiago Motta, it was.
But he wasn't even the best player on the pitch with Thiago Motta.
But I think with Roma, I think Conceição was a play that you should have stopped in after the Shomurdov goal.
I get it.
So I don't know really what to say about Igor Tudor.
It's really early days.
Yeah. It's too early.
It's way too early.
Yeah. Let's see at the end of the Serie A season. Let's see after the Clubs World Cup. So we'll see if he deserves to be the next.
I don't think he will
season coach, but I don't think either. But let's see. So it's time to go to our second section of the podcast. Obviously, as always, Inspector Europe, in which we're going to talk about the Champions League fixtures, the Europa League games.
This is where we get the really controversial takes from me and
today Harry is really hot with it.
I need to point out that I thought it was possible for Arsenal to win it, also because last time we had a podcast session, Real Madrid were going to play against Arsenal, at least in the first leg, without Rudiger, Bellingham, Mbappe, because of their reckless celebrations, and we can say reckless, nothing more, in front of the Atletico stand. Right now, obviously, the games are set. The Sage is ready. And Arsenal, right now, I don't think they could win 2-0. But I'm feeling it. Merino is going to score. Maybe not 2-0, but Arsenal could win. I don't think it's possible. It's possible. Not something.
Everything is possible, but
but not everything is possible. This is something really possible because I think Arteta is a mastermind, the best manager in the Premier League. Not this season, but I think could possibly be the next the best manager in the Premier League in the next 2 or 3 years. Not this season because I think this season it's not even Arne Slot because Slot is winning it because City had the worst season in the last 20 years.
We'll talk about that afterwards because I got an opinion on that.
Okay, in the popular opinion section. Okay, then let me talk one. I have one too. I have one from in a talk with me and Alberto, our friend. But let's stay focused. I want your opinion on the Bayern Inter game and the Arsenal Madrid game from today, and then we're gonna talk about the games from tomorrow.
Okay, so I think Arsenal Real Madrid is the one to keep till second. Okay. My opinion's not really changed on the Inter Bayern one. I think Inter will go through overall, although I'm starting to maybe doubt it, but I'm going to stick to my guns. But again, like 2 weeks ago when I said it, I think Bayern will probably win tonight, and Inter will probably win it in San Siro. It's just whether Inter can maybe hang on and try and get a draw tonight. It really depends on the form of the players and how well Bayern can go into it. I think it's their game to lose tonight. Inter need to just kind of try and hold strong, but I'm going to say maybe 1-0 Bayern and Inter win 2-0 in San Siro.
I'm not the same idea because I think Inter is gonna win today. Yeah, I see it the same way with Inter going through, but I think Inter could also win today in Monaco, in Munich, because I think as of now the Bayern squad is too filled with injuries. Too many players, too many important players are not playing today, and they will not play in the second leg. I think that tips a little bit of the balance towards Inter.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Because if you think about Musiala is not playing the two games, Kane is not sure to play, Goretzka is not sure to play. They have less than half of the defense available.
Yeah, I think that is the massive thing. Is I'm looking at the predicted lineup now. You've got Urbig in goal, Lima, Dyer, Kim, and Stanisic. You know, it isn't a strong team. You know, they've got home advantage, which I think is the only thing that might carry them through. You know, Kane, Elise, Sané as well, maybe. But I'm going to throw a really bold prediction out. I think someone like Mkhitaryan, if he plays today, I think he'll have a really, really good game. Martinez and Thuram will be the type to finish off the chances that Mkhitaryan make, I think. And that's really random and a weird thing to bring up. But if Mkhitaryan plays, I think this is the type of game he's really good at sort of being a nuisance more than anything.
I don't know, because I've seen a lot of the players from Inter struggle this season, and no one has struggled like Mkhitaryan.
But that's why I think it's a game like this that he'll do well in.
Yeah, but the age is starting to show, and I'm really sad about it because at Inter he played incredible football for years. At Roma too, it was maybe their best player.
Good player, yeah. It's kind of shame.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. I'm sorry about it. But at the same time, some sparkles are still.
I agree with for Çalhanoğlu. I look forward for him tonight.
Crazy.
I think the standout player for today's game is gonna be Marcus Thuram. I think he's gonna.
But the problem is I can see with the way that Bayern will probably line up their centre backs with Kim on the left and Dyer on the right. I think maybe this is just bias from a Premier League fan, but Dyer's probably going to struggle. Like Kim is a much better centre back in my eyes than Dyer,
but Kim also struggled with the Bayern defense.
Yeah, true.
Kim didn't play as good as he played in Napoli in the last season and a half.
God, no, he was phenomenal for Napoli.
So I think we'll see, obviously, but for me the standout player will be Thuram from the game, and I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a 2-0 victory for Inter.
Okay.
Today.
Yeah, 2-0, 1-0. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna say 1-0, 1-1.
Okay, I get it. Arsenal, Real Madrid.
Okay, so first of all, what is your actual prediction for this game? Like, do you actually believe Arsenal are gonna win?
I think Arsenal could pull it off, but let's say humble and say 1-0.
Okay, so
also because Real Madrid didn't play good didn't play incredibly good on Saturday when they played against Valencia and they lost in the 93rd minute. Maybe they are. I'm gonna say 1-0 just to be safe, but the real result is gonna be 2-0.
Okay, so I'm going to be a bit more clever about my prediction. I'm going to say 3-0.
You're saying I'm not clever?
3-1 Real.
You're saying I'm stupid? That's the thing that you're saying?
Yes, I am. I'm very much supporting Real Madrid on this
You're even a Real Madrid fan?
Please.
Right now, I got Bale back.
Please, Arteta Masterclass. Come and silence.
The thing is, at this point, this might be stupid to say, but at this point, Arsenal aren't really a threat to us, Liverpool in the Premier League.
No, that's
So,
exactly Real
I
Madrid.
don't even care if they get knocked out or if they have the games. It doesn't really affect us either way. They're not going to win the Champions League or the Premier League.
But Arsenal has only the Champions League left. It's the only way they.
Yeah, but things they're not going to beat Real Madrid, and whoever they play in the semis, they're not going to beat.
Real Madrid obviously they are the king of this competition. They are the best team in history in the Champions League. They won it. I lost the count 16, 17 times. I don't remember.
16, yeah.
But sometimes the kings gotta fall.
15, isn't it?
The kings gotta fall to see a new prince.
I just don't think Arsenal are the team to do it.
Yes.
No, I genuinely think Mbappe's going to score a couple.
3 goals today. Yeah.
Rodrigo will be their standout player today.
I'm gonna say that the standout players today is gonna be Saliba.
I was expecting you to say something like Thomas Partey or something.
No, Lewis Kelly.
What a player.
Lewis Kelly.
He's good. I like Lewis Kelly.
He's
good. Saka's back though, so that could be.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Bukayo is going to score today.
Saka's a great player.
Think about it. Think about it.
I think he's a little bit overrated, but he is a good player. Like, there's no doubt.
I don't think he's overrated. I think he's probably properly rated. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit struggling with the too many consonants. I've seen a video on TikTok today about this Italian stand-up comedian that says that he's struggling with English because of so many consonants.
Yeah.
And in Italian, maybe we can express ourselves with only vocals like hey, oh.
Yeah, that is one thing I noticed. Is like A and O just mean so many different things as well.
Yeah, it's
But you always understand what someone's trying to say as well.
You can say a text.
Yeah.
You can say anything. Just saying A O.
Exactly.
Yeah. Literally. Oh.
You miss Italy?
I do, man. I can't wait to be back. I want to do.
We are waiting on you.
Yeah,
Nishan is keeping your seats really
keeping your seats
warm.
I can't lie. I was really, really hoping to be back for the derby on Sunday, and you know what? I can't wait to actually be able to do a podcast from the studio rather than
because
on a Zoom call.
You've seen the studio, but you never
with blank walls.
We had
the scarves up. We had the scarves up.
Yeah.
The scarves up. But yeah, I'm going to move it on quickly to tomorrow's game.
Absolutely.
I've got my own controversial opinion, and I do want to talk about it, but I'll wait until you boys have spoken through your predictions. So we'll start off with Dortmund-Barca.
Barca Dortmund is in Barcelona, and that's I don't think it's gonna be a really great difference because I think Barcelona is gonna win the 2 games.
Yeah.
But maybe in Germany they're gonna win 2-1 and 3-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow they're gonna win 5-0, something like that. It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I mean, what I didn't realize maybe last year is because of how far they got in the Champions League, getting to the final. Dortmund's team is really unimpressive.
This season worse than
nothing that really excites me.
They have some players that this season maybe helped a little bit, like Guirassy, Adeyemi, but I don't really like the midfield portion of the team. The defense, I think, is too.
He's great.
The defense can get waterboarded by the Barcelona offense tomorrow. It's gonna feel that way.
Offense. Like, I think even the Barca defense, I mean, I've got to give a shout out now to a player who I've been saying for about a year since he's been on the scene, and he's still about 12, but is Pau Cubarsí. I think he is so good. So good. I'm expecting him to be like one of the best defenders in the world.
Yeah, he played his first Champions League game. He played his first Champions League game last year against Napoli, and it was a really great performance. He won the man of the match, I think, something like that.
Yeah, him and Asensio from Real Madrid. I think those two together are just
the future of the
otherworldly
Spain's defense.
But even Spain's defense now for the future is ridiculous. I mean, Højsund from Bournemouth, you know, they've got the play. They've got such a lovely core, like starting to build up. It's scary for how
Lovely
long
what?
the Spanish
Sorry?
team core.
Ah, okay. I heard something else. So
Okay, I'm not even going to ask you what you thought you heard.
yeah. We're not gonna talk about it. Prediction for the Barcelona Dortmund game.
Yeah, I'm going to say. I think they'll score 3 and then stop. So I'm going to go 3-1. 3-0 Barcelona in this game, and then 1-0, 2-1 something in the second.
For me, it's a 4-0, 5-0 game. The one from tomorrow.
Really?
For me, it's 4-1.
Okay.
I get it.
What
And
about
now
the PSG
the
Aston
game,
Villa?
the game for Harry, PSG, Aston Villa.
Okay, so PSG are going to win tomorrow night 1-0.
Okay.
And then Aston Villa are going to fucking dick them in Villa Park. No, I'm joking. Villa are going to win, but I don't think it'll be a big win. It'll be a scrappy win, but Villa will win. I think Rashford and Morgan Rogers will get the goals. There'll be a 2-0 win at Villa Park.
Are you spitting facts?
Yeah, I'm convinced. I think this PSG team is one of the best teams in the world right now.
Okay.
I think it's
So
balanced, it's
you're aware of it.
Aston Villa's going
You're aware of it. That
Oh no,
PSG
I'm well aware of that.
Okay.
However, I just think Villa are going to steal it. I don't know what it is. It's been a few days. Well, no, sorry, a few weeks that I've been saying it. I don't know what it is. I just think Villa Park. It might be. I've got a few friends who are Villa fans, and you know they've probably brainwashed me enough now. But honestly, I can't wait to see Teo's tears when Villa beat them. I really can't. And also, I fucking want them to
let's
lose
say hi
because
to
they're fucking
Teo.
twats after beating us.
Bro, I'm already imagining Ming's Brexit tackle to seal the deal in the second half.
Mate, honestly, you're hoping that Kvaratskhelia loses a leg.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, PSG can go through, but not Kvara. Kvara can...
Yeah, Kvara has to stay out, yeah.
Absolutely. So the prediction for the game, you said 1-0 PSG for tomorrow?
1-0 PSG tomorrow.
I'm going to say 3-1. 3-1 tomorrow for PSG.
Yeah, 3-1 as well.
I'm going to look like such a twat when
Possibly.
PSG win.
It's possible.
It's possible.
So guys, have arrived to the third... I'm sorry, we forgot about the Europa League. Maybe some really fast Europa Leagues prediction.
Yeah, let's rush it.
Let's rush it. Bodo Lazio.
Whoa. The best teams in the world are in this one. And Man United.
Bodo Lazio.
Lazio 1-0.
I'm going to say Lazio 1-2.
1-2.
Olympique Lyon, Manchester United.
0-0.
1-0. I'm going to say draw too, but 1-0. You have...
Let's say 1-2.
Tottenham Hotspur, Eintracht Frankfurt.
2-0 Spurs.
2-1 Frankfurt.
1-2 for me also.
What, to Frankfurt?
Yeah.
Okay. I really hope Spurs win because I really want to go to...
Ekitike Masterclass.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I'm certainly forgetting how bad Spurs have been recently.
Yeah, you've seen them batter Southampton this weekend, and you think they are a good team.
No. I just think you think of Tottenham as they're a big team. Yeah, maybe not big, a mediocre team, but I don't know. I think they're on such bad form that maybe you are right. But I don't think Frankfurt are going to win it. I think Frankfurt might get a draw.
Let's see. We're gonna clip that again also. And Rangers Athletic Bilbao.
3-1 Bilbao.
1-1.
You're
always with draws.
Wait.
If the UK teams are going through, it's only because you have convinced everyone that they are good. Athletic Club is so much better than the
No, I agree. I think in the second leg in San Mamés or whatever the Bilbao Stadium's called, they are gonna fucking rip Rangers apart. But I just think.
Bro, I think Atletico Bilbao will be in final.
I agree. I do believe that, but I think Rangers might be able to
great
get
final.
A draw
Lazio Bilbao.
Yeah.
Oh Christ! And the problem is the finals in Bilbao as well.
In San Mamés.
If they get there, they're winning.
No.
Yeah. That's possible.
100%.
Always. So let's go to the third section of our podcast.
Conference League.
Not the Conference League,
No,
bro.
it doesn't matter. Fiorentina win it, and Chelsea.
Fiorentina goes through, Chelsea goes through, Rapid
Betis
Vienna
go
goes
through,
through,
and then we don't
Betis
care who
goes
else is
through.
in there.
Easy.
Okay.
The Let Me Talk section of the podcast, which obviously we're going to talk some unconventional ideas or opinions that we have about football.
Go one,
And,
Harry.
Yeah, well, I do. I've got two that I can talk about. One of them was you mentioned Slot earlier, and I am of the opinion that this Liverpool season is being criminally underrated as it is happening.
Bro, it's not underrated. The Liverpool for at least 4 or 5 months.
Everyone is saying, oh yeah,
Everyone
you're only
cool.
winning it because City are bad. You don't.
Bro,
Liverpool have played so well.
Liverpool, everybody is saying this only because Liverpool in 1 week lost the possibility of doing
exactly. But
the trouble.
everyone's saying that it's a bad season because
It's
lost
not a
that
bad
week.
season. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Liverpool
No.
season
I'm
is
not
a
saying
bad
that you
season.
are, but other people. Like, I've heard it so many times.
Yeah,
that
but
it's a
we
bad
are
season for
discussing it.
Liverpool.
I don't know what you say with your friends that maybe they are Everton fans, so they say, Liverpool is shit. I'm not saying that Liverpool is shit.
No, it's not shit.
No,
But I think
maybe not sure, but people are underrating how good a season this is.
Yeah, but this
because of the
season
fact
is
that other
this
teams
good.
aren't playing well.
You have to
But
see even
also,
the other teams that are
we're out
doing
of
more
the
shit.
other three competitions we're in. But the reality is that
Bro,
Liverpool have
don't
won
tell
one
me-
Premier
why-
League in
why-
the last
bro,
35
don't
years.
thumbs
And
up.
now it's 2.
Bro, I'm going to be brief with it. I'm gonna say that Liverpool is not having a shit season because obviously Liverpool is gonna win the Premier League. Incredible achievement. Klopp only managed to win 1 Premier League in 9 seasons with Liverpool. I'm gonna say this. For me, this Liverpool season has been maybe the upbringing also of the season before with Klopp. This season couldn't even be possible without last season's Klopp. For me, it's obvious. And obviously, you cannot say that Liverpool has been the perfect team because in 1 week, and you cannot forget it, Liverpool lost in Anfield against PSG. So from being maybe one of the favorites in the Champions League, they went home and in the round of 16. And in the final against Newcastle, that is playing really good right now, is starting to come up in the table in the Premier League. They lost against Newcastle, so you cannot say that Liverpool has been perfect this season. That's the only thing I'm saying.
They are. I think you are right in terms
Next
of
season
games.
is going to be really tough for Liverpool.
Oh yeah. I think we're next season. I don't expect to win. I don't expect to win the league anyway. Certainly not, or the Champions League.
I think maybe a Carabao Cup is the only possibility.
Exactly. Maybe
for
an
a
FA
trophy
Cup.
next season.
Regardless, I think this season, I think that week was obviously a terrible week. We've also got the loss of Trent pretty much confirmed.
Yeah.
Van Dijk looks like he is staying. Salah we're still not sure about. So that is also affecting us as well. We have been a bit of a laughing stock because of those things as well. However, that 1 month spell, which included the Trent thing and those defeats, I think people kind of jumped on it being a bad season. Whereas, like, you've defended it there as well a bit, but we are winning the league in Slot's first season, but also it's the first league title that we'll win for a couple of years, but only the second in 35 years. So if you ask a Liverpool fan at the start of the season, you're going to win the league, but nothing else, we'd bite your hand off.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not saying that Liverpool fans shouldn't be happy about it. I'm only saying that next season will be rough. This season is also the continuance maybe of the Liverpool's club. I'm not seeing that next season. But not only because Liverpool is gonna lose Trent. Maybe they're gonna lose also Mo Salah. It's gonna be also something in the play style and everything like that. That's the only thing.
Agree.
I have one, and then I'm going to give the mic to you for the last one. It's not an unpopular opinion, but talking with my friend Alberto, we were discussing these 4 players: Kaká, Ronaldinho, and Henry, and the last one I'm forgetting. Neymar.
Okay.
He put Kaká and Ronaldinho above Henry, and for me that's wrong, completely wrong for me.
Kaká, Dino, Henry.
I get that Kaká and Dino won Ballon d'Ors and Henry no, but for me, as the football heritage that Titi Henry left us and how he played is better than the two of them.
Okay, so what was it? It was just Kaká.
For me,
Dino,
Henry is better than Ronaldinho and Kaká as the heritage of the football he played.
I think Henry, when you look at longevity as well, and also, I don't know, I mean, for me, like I've written the names down just to kind of have a look at it all, but you just look at the three names, and I think Henry's better than Kaká. To me, it's about a 1 and 2 for Dino and Henry. Kaká is in third place for me, I can't lie. I think, phenomenal player, all of that, I'm not taking anything away from that, but Dino and Henry are different gravy. Kaká in his prime, that's a different thing, but his prime didn't last as long. You know what, I'd actually probably say Henry tops it for me, which is horrible to say because I love Dino. Dino's my favourite of the three by far.
But we can all agree that Neymar is the worst out of this bunch.
Oh, Neymar was the other one. No, Neymar goes above Kaká for me, but below Dino and Henry.
I don't know.
Hell no.
Hell no. Only because I'm sorry to say it, but I hate Neymar because of the talent that he wasted.
Yeah, that's fine, and I get it. And also,
It's like Balotelli.
Not like Balotelli because he was so.
Because Balotelli was amazing.
Balotelli was incredible. Neymar was even more incredible than Balotelli. And
one of my favorite goals of all time is one of the goals he scored at Santos that won the push gas back in like 2011.
Yeah, in 2011.
Goal. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a shame.
That's a shame, but obviously you cannot have everything in life. Neymar has got the poker talent because he plays poker. He's got
he's got a Champions League
and everything. Did you see the images that he had? Is injured right now with Santos.
The Batman jumper.
Yeah, the Batman jumper, and then he left the stadium.
Yeah.
Why?
Honestly,
did he go? Did you go to the dressing room?
It's his sister's birthday.
We don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, but he does.
Do you not understand that
every
reference?
year.
Oh yeah, okay, good, yeah. I'm a big Neymar fan. I can't lie. I'm gutted that it didn't work out for him, and he didn't get the Ballon d'Or that we all kind of presumed he would. But what a player!
Yeah. For that, but I'm sorry. For me, he doesn't get any respect because he completely botched it.
Yeah, he destroyed himself.
Last unpopular opinion for you, and then we go to the game section.
Okay, this might be a bit difficult for you boys because you won't have really thought about it too much, whereas it's quite a hot debate here, especially in Wales. My unpopular opinion is, and I completely agree with it, Gareth Bale is the best British player of all time.
I'm going away. Bye, everyone.
For us,
it's been a pleasure today.
Why are you doing it
for
us?
No, please. How can you say that Gareth Bale has been the best UK player? How when you had Rooney, Giggs? Giggs is a better Welsh player.
Do not even. No.
No, what? It's serious.
Bale makes Giggs look subpar. Giggs was amazing. Giggs is in the top 10, I'd argue, but Bale is different gravy.
Do you have in Wales like a meme page?
Yeah, they should.
Page. We can put this clip.
No, genuinely, Bale is the best British player of all time.
No, bro.
Even Google it now, and he'll be on every single list in the top 5. Like he is.
Yeah, top 5, top 10 is okay.
Yes,
but when you have you have Lampard, Gerrard,
I love Gerrard. Bale is the best British player of all time.
Gerrard is the best British player.
I mean, I love Gerrard, and he's up there. But Bale is just the only people.
The Welsh in you that is talking. And we figured out that the Welsh in him is more important than the Liverpool fan. So at least we know this right now.
At least.
Obviously.
Genuinely,
Like Bale, again.
No,
when you
bro,
look at the
no,
Wales-
genuinely, no.
When you look at
I'm
the
sorry,
Welsh,
but
It's no.
Bro,
I don't see that way.
5
And that's why it's an unpopular opinion.
Champions League trophies. Won a final for them.
Oh, he won 2 finals. Real won 2 finals because of him. In the others, he were carried.
Hi,
He was
Francesca.
carried. But please.
Hi, Francesca. No, we are not drunk. It's just Harry that is saying bullshit.
Yeah, hi, Francesca.
I'm spitting facts.
No, you're not
What
spitting facts. You're not spitting facts.
Genuinely, like, Francesca, like honestly, you'll agree with me here. Bale is the best British player of all time, right?
She's not responding because obviously she thinks Ryan Giggs is a better Welsh player. So
Honestly, like thing is, there's another Welsh player who's better than Ryan Giggs.
Ian Rush.
No, John Charles.
Oh.
Delshan, please tell me you know who John Charles is.
No, I don't.
Calls himself a Juve fan.
Ah, yeah, from the 50s.
Yeah, so John
Yeah,
Charles.
yeah. I remember. I remember right now.
Yeah, but he's one of the best ever Juve players.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Yeah, but
fan.
you in the 50s weren't robbing anyone, so he doesn't remember. So don't worry.
Yeah, true. There wasn't enough controversy for them to be relevant.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the shit that you just said.
Let's go. That's the worst shit I ever heard. So let's go.
Let's
to
go
the big match
to the big match
right
please.
now.
Fine.
Big match, big. Are you ready,
So,
Harry? You're
I
the
want to
only one
remind
that.
everyone the composition of this friendly
By the
game
way,
that we
I
play.
just want to say, Francesca's commented, I don't know, I only care about Dolce Far Calcio. I can't speak. Dolce Far Calcio.
That's
and
what
I
you have
just
to
wanna
say
I
as well.
completely agree.
That's
Yeah,
what you have to say.
agree.
At
Actually,
least once a day, bro.
I've got a new controversial opinion, which isn't controversial. It's 100% fact. Dolce Far Calcio is the best YouTube channel for football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah. We are the best. We are gonna be better every day. So stay focused and stay with us, please, during this incredible journey.
Let's see if Harry can.
I want to remind before we start
Sorry.
the composition of the game. We're gonna start with 4 rolls of the wheel. The wheel is gonna give us 2 teams, and we need to say a player that played for both teams. Then we will have 4 questions about general football knowledge, and then 2 career path, and we need to figure out who's the player. So let's go.
Let me put the computer here. Okay, the first team is. Come on, Harry. I'm cheering for you.
You are
Ajax.
always cheering for the other guy.
You got it, Harry. Ajax.
Yeah.
And the other one is City.
I'm going to go with
10, 9, 8,
Time,
7,
please.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
fuck.
1. Jakob Pastor.
Kind of thing.
The fact is, I was so preoccupied of saying time, I didn't think about it. So,
10, 9, 8,
uh,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I don't remember. I don't think he played for them, but I'm going to say Ake. But I don't think he played for Ajax
I don't think so either.
because he was already in the Premier League side of youth teams, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So
No.
the first one was a shit role. Perfect. I'm trying to think about some players that play for.
Okay, the other one is.
The only one is De Jong, as in
Yes. Completely
Nigel De
forgot.
Jong.
Lazio,
Christ.
Milan.
I'm the first, right?
Yeah.
Alessandro Nesta.
Yeah.
1-0.
I'd be a Lazio fan, but you guys know the Italian stuff far better than I do.
Real Madrid,
Yes.
Liverpool. It's
How many
Jakob,
can I name?
Jakob.
What do you mean?
No,
Oh,
Jakob
that's
first.
100%
Jakob first.
me.
Bro,
No,
bro,
Jakob
I assure you that I've heard
Yeah, it's
yours
Jakob.
starting when my buzzer finished. I'm gonna say
Well, I had that with you.
I'm gonna say Michael Owen.
Yeah. 2-0.
If I name 6 more, can I get the point?
No, I'm sorry, that's not the game. That's the first name. Stop.
PSG,
Yes.
And Juventus. Harry.
Yeah.
Okay, PSG and Juventus is...
10,
I have no clue. Pardon me.
9,
Why do
Eight.
you?
7.
Ah, yeah,
I have 2, 4.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Ah, yeah, good. It
You
wasn't
got
my
a lot more easier. Bro.
They were
Ken,
easy.
Moise Ken.
Coman, Matuidi.
Still a winner.
I went for a thought.
A win is a win.
2-1. Okay, let's go with the questions.
Yes.
So, which Swedish footballer once had a clause inserted into his Premier League contract that prohibited him from traveling into space?
The Premier League plays.
In the Premier League, yeah. A Swedish football player.
I don't have a clue. The only player that I think about is Swedish and playing the Premier League. I'm gonna say Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but
No. it's
Yeah,
not
I was
him.
going to say that. Okay, I'm glad he said that.
so did you have
It's
a?
not him.
So I can just think of any random Swedish player from the Prem. Can I think out loud? If I
You
mention a
have.
name,
You still have
I-
15 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking this isn't my answer. But I'm thinking you've got either
13, 12.
Lindelof,
10,
Isaac,
11, and 9.
Larson. I'm gonna say Lindelof.
It wasn't. It was Stefan Schwarz.
Ah, okay, fair.
I have a fucking clue.
Never
who it
getting
is.
that, yeah.
I don't know if you know him, but
Not a Scooby.
Okay,
Let's
let's go
see.
to the other one.
This is a really
Sec-
depressing section.
yeah.
We've been terrible.
Let's go.
English rock star Elton John was twice the owner of which football club?
No, I pressed it first.
No, you did not.
No, I pressed it first. Before he even,
Bro,
you even said
you
anything.
even argued it before I'd even said it.
Bro, I pressed it before.
You knew I'd done it first. You even argued it before I'd said it.
Alright, take the buzzer on your hand so I can show it on the camera so I can see it as well when you press it.
You have the British Got Talent.
Britain's Got Talent, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I said it
Jacopo,
before.
it's Jacopo one.
It's Watford.
What for?
I said it before.
So it's 3-1.
Yes. Let's go.
I don't like this game anymore. I only like it when I'm winning.
You won the last time, so don't be a sore loser.
Liverpool have won 6 Champions League and United have won 3. But who are England's third most successful team in the competition
10.
with 2 titles?
Third, sorry.
Third.
Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah.
2012 and 2021.
Ooh, you're good.
Oh, you know, 2, no?
Yeah.
Chelsea. And we
2,
have even
yeah.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
in the 70s.
Aston Villa have only won one.
1978 and 79-80.
Yeah.
3-2.
Okay.
So 3-2.
3-2.
Last
Did
question. right?
having the buzzer up here help you?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, good.
Last question.
The Euro 2000 final between France and Italy was decided by a golden goal. Which player?
David Trezeguet.
That's right.
Yeah, fair.
4-2. So I cannot lose, and that's the important part.
This is the last question.
No,
No,
this was
that's
the
it.
last question.
This was
already
okay.
did.
So
So the
we're going for
last
career.
2 career path, and then we
The career.
close the
Let me
spectacle
think,
of
let me
episode
think.
that we did today.
Let me think. Let's start with the easy one. You ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Both ready?
Yep.
Okay. So, he started in the youth team in Birmingham.
Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, but you cannot.
Bro, he said it.
Yeah, but you cannot start saying about the youth teams because obviously if they start playing the youth teams in the
Bro, I
Premier
cannot
League.
say. He played
England.
Birmingham and then Sunderland.
Yak. Yak. Wait, did I get it? Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Cry more.
I'm not. I cannot lose. Sorry, I'm
No,
not
it's
crying.
fine. Cry more. It's fine. Cry more.
Bro.
I'm such a dick. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna kick your ass when you come to Italy.
All right.
Okay, so 2012-2015 Estudiantes, 15-16 Sampdoria, 16-18 Sevilla.
I have it before, right? Joaquin Correa. Ha! You lost, bitch!
No!
Yeah, fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's a little too much.
No. Fair. What I love, so we've just had a few more viewers tune in.
Just to hear me saying
everyone's just going to
bitch.
be like, oh, well, this Jacobo guy's such a prick. Like, they're right.
I'm sorry, bro. Obviously, I'm joking.
No, it's fine. I'm just going to go fuck myself. Don't mind me.
No!
Yeah, see, look at Francesca put in the chat. She
Yeah,
knows you're a
these
clown.
clown
She knows you're a clown.
emojis.
She knows.
Thanks, Francesca. And that's the
That's
end.
the end.
We arrived to the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Remind to follow us on TikTok and Instagram, to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are live every week at this time with the English version. On Monday we have the Italian one. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dishon.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And we'll
See you
see
next
each other
week.